Okay, welcome to the driveway. We're on location here with the family. This is my little boy and my wife's holding the camera. I don't usually do it this way, but it's a beautiful day and we're in a beautiful place. So I'm going to show you a primitive fishing kit. A couple of things to start out. Once you catch your fish, you're going to need some way to cut it open. You can rip it open with your teeth, I suppose, but we're not animals. So this is a little rib bone knife. Little filleting knife. Now if you don't have something like this and you are out and trying to just do from scratch, these quartzite type rocks, they're usually white or yellow. Come here, Bubba. Come here. Anybody can take a hammerstone and crack one of these and you get these slivers. Now they're sharp. You can cut open a fish with that. You can cut open a squirrel with that. It's like a little knife blade. Not quite like obsidian or a really good piece of solid quartz, but it's got enough of a grain in there that you can see these lines. It can be a challenge with a child, but I want him to see how to do this stuff too. So this is my little fishing kit. Again, I've got this beef rib knife. It's just a filleting knife. You can see how that's cut out. Or my little rock chip. And this is a cordage that I've made from yucca. It's an Adam's needle knit yucca, a variety that grows in North Georgia. You're not gonna throw it in the water, are you? Don't you throw that in the water? Don't you? I don't trust you, son. Here, move over here where Mommy can shoot. Come look, let me show you. Here, watch me. Now look, these are gorge hooks, and they're little pieces of bone, the same rib that I used to cut the knife. And I don't know if you can see that. There's a little indention in the middle and two sharp edges. And this is designed so that you put it in a piece of bait, this grasshopper, we're gonna demonstrate. And when the fish swallows it whole and tries to move away from the string, it turns this way and it sticks in his throat. If anybody's ever accidentally swallowed a fish bone and it got hung in the back of your throat, same thing. Well, we have another kind of hook that we made from the same rib bone. And it's more like a traditional hook. I don't know if can you get a better shot? And these were pretty popular. The technology went up and down the coast. Now don't lose that. And there's a neat story there I'll tell you later. But so here's one that I've strung up. And this is a short line for something like we would call a trot line. And I've done it this way because it just works better. I put one of these more traditional looking hooks on this end, but you need something smaller for the fish around here, so this is a tiny little gorge hook. And I use this side to just wrap around a tree branch and hook back in itself. I'm not actually going to use this as a hook today, but it's still got a value. Now, if I was after big fish in a lake, like a bass, this might be more helpful. But these gorge hooks are what we're going to use today. So I'm going to take our little grasshopper that we caught on the way over here in the front. Well, this we did catch in the driveway. And if it was a worm, we would just snake this through there. But we're going to take the gorge hook, we're going to stick it in his mouth, and I know, cruelty to animals, we're going to try to go down the thorax so that, here we go. There's our grasshopper. You see him? You see him? And now we're going to go over a couple of ways to set this trap. A line like this would be to go up near the bank where there are branches coming over. A lot of fish try to get up under the rocks to hide. So we would just drop this in the water, come up here, wrap it a couple of times, and then hook this hook in one of the V's. And we just leave it. We got to get away from here and come back later. What you're hoping is that a fish hits that and it's waiting for you when you get back. Now this isn't deep water, and the kind of fish in this particular creek like it a little deeper. So we're going to go over here and I'm going to wade out a little bit. I'm going to show you how to set it off the rock. We're above a little bit of a hole here where a fish would like to come. It's a lot deeper after this rock because of the way the water moves. So this would be a good spot for a fish to rest. Now there are no limbs or anything to tie off of, so we're going to have to make something. The way we're going to do that is we're just going to get a stick, wrap it a couple of times, and throw out our line, and we're using our stick as an anchor point. We're just going to pile some rocks up here. And what you're hoping is you don't get a Moby Dick, because if you get a giant fish, you're going to lose your line. But that's done a good job. The current has carried that grasshopper right down through there, and then we're just going to leave it. We're going to walk away. We're going to get away from it. We're going to come back in a little while, and hopefully our stick and pile of rocks isn't at the bottom of the creek. That's what it is. I would actually get a bigger rock. We're just trying to show off here, so get a big rock, and it'd be nice if this was a little bit flatter. This angle, you'd be surprised how much a fish can fight, even a little one. So that's it. Another way you can set something like this would be, primitive people would take a little rock like this and they would chip a ring around it. Then they'd tie their string, make a long string, real long string. And they'd tie it to something like this, just a piece of wood on the bank, and they'd tie the rope around this closer to the bait like a sinker. And they'd throw it way out into the deep part. And that's a good, if you've got the cordage, that's a good way to do it too. But you've also got to take a little time. Sometimes you can find a rock that's just perfect for this. I haven't made anything like that. I've never used it, but I know it's the case. I've seen the documentation about it. So it's something I might try in the future, and I'll try to document that. Okay, here's a close-up of the kit. I've already got a line out in the water, but son, can I see my, here's the fillet knife, and it's, you can see the beef rib. I enjoyed that beef rib. Whenever we cook ribs, we always save the bones. I throw them outside and let them age for about a month, because the marrow has to rot out from the inside. Then you can just scrape it out. You can see that would be the marrow chamber. And you just scrape off half of that, and you get that good outer part that's very sharpenable. You can scrape bark off a tree, you can cut line, and you can fillet a fish. You can scale it and then cut it open. So here are the hooks. Like I said, these are for a little bit bigger animals, and these are the gorges. And you tie these around the middle, and these up around the top, of course, more like a traditional hook. Some of the ancient ones actually had holes drilled in them, but this is much easier just to do a little notch. And that's all to it. Again, this is Adam's Needle Yucca, and it's a fun kit to make. Even if you're not a fisherman, it sort of connects you to what's been done before. And it's sort of neat to be able to do something like this. It's very relaxing, so I recommend it.